What's going on, everyone? I want to talk to you about closed-end funds. And when I say that, all I want you to think about is special purpose acquisition companies, which is Kenny's secret weapon. Um, yeah, we're going to see how he inflated his asset books, dude. And the amount, I can't believe I didn't look at the quantity until now, but oh my goodness. It's alarming. Let me just tell you. So let's take a look. So to keep it simple, Ken Griffin is a snick and he likes to buy spics. Okay, that's all he's done all year long. He buys and sells them. You can see right here. He just churns this shit out. Now, what is a special acquisition company? We'll get to that in a second. But first, let's look at what is a closed-end fund. Basically, think of it like an IPO, like an initial public offering at launch, and the money raised from the IPO is used by portfolio managers to buy securities, or in this case, it's raised to buy more SPACs. We're only going to be talking about SPACs in regards to closed-end funds to keep it simple, which is basically just one of many facets of Ken Griffin's infinite money glitch. He's right there. So now, what is a SPAC? Basically, it's known as a blank check company or a shell corporation, whatever you want to call it, listed on a stock exchange with the purpose of acquiring a private company, thus making it public without going through the traditional process of an IPO. It's like a loophole. So he shills, likes to jump through hoops and loops. It's crime. And speaking of crime, don't worry. He knows where it is and he's going to help. And he likes milk too. So third, make sure you buy and sell as many as possible so you can inflate your assets and hide them in derivatives, SPACs, and ETFs of SPACs and other SPACs, and then put them in offshore Cayman Island funds and other Brazilian accounts and so forth. Currently holding 13,568 positions with 1,565 closed over the last reporting period. That's a shit ton. So, you see it right here. This is a 2-week period. Enormous growth. So here's some crime. On the left, we have the buy side, and then on the right, we have the sell side. Basically, you can just see it's ridiculous, redonkulous. Well, that did not work properly. There we go. It's ridiculous. Look, it's how he keeps it going. So you gotta understand they have several loopholes. This is just one of many things they do. And you see right here how it's all basically puts and calls for the most part on a lot of these. It's complicated, but that's what they do. They buy these SPACs and they sell these SPACs and they put them in ETFs and then they move them offshore and they do all kinds of other shit too on top of that. But yeah, whenever you think closed-end fund or SPAC, just think Ken Griffin, because he's done this year so far 1,300 or so as far as selling, 13 or 1,500, and then he's bought over 862 different SPACs. And the best part is the precursor to what I was talking about, and the reason for it is because we just got a rule that enables these funds that I was just talking about, the SPACs, to offer their shareholders unlimited ability to resell their shares in a manner that previously was available only to open-end investment companies. There have been recent regulatory developments put forth that will provide shareholders of closed-end funds with additional benefits. Oh boy. Now, this just got filed for approval today. It's an OMB comment request. It says effective August 1st, Rule 23C-3 will be amended by including a new subparagraph E that will permit a fund that relies on Rule 23C-3 to register an indefinite amount of securities under Section 24 of the Investment Company Act upon the effectiveness of a fund's registration statement. In addition, concurrent with the implementation of the rule, the Commission adopted an amendment to Rule 24F-2, permitting closed-end funds or SPACs that we just talked about as an example, to compute registration fees on an annual net basis. I mean, can you believe it? It's nuts. It's crime. So yeah, I mean, there you have it. They say the purpose of this is to prevent the possibility of a closed-end fund inadvertently selling more shares than it had registered, basically. So there's that. But other than that, it's just an exemption, more relief. So we'll have to see where it goes. And this is just one, by the way. There's several of these on the register. I think there's like 7 or 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's 8. We'll have to see, man. That's just one. I'll keep going.